Hello everyone. So in this video we are going to talk about the importance of using the AND operator or the OR operator in order to debug a strategy. So for example, this is a strategy that I have created for example purpose. So I will just go to set number 1 and I'll show you the conditions. So it's a very simple condition. I'll just zoom in a little bit. So what I've said is this is an MCX related strategy where I want to check whether the futures price of silver mic on a 2-minute candle, that the previous candle is greater than as per the previous close price of silver mic future, the price is greater than 70,000. all right, and at the same time what I've done is I've created one more condition, that position of previous candle should be less than 70,000. So what it means is that this is basically a basic mistake that I have done, right? That the position of close of silver mic of previous candle should be greater than 70,000 also, and at the same time it should be less than 70,000 also. Now this condition, since there is a mistake, this strategy should not take a trade, right? So and many times what happens is that you might create a condition with multiple conditions. There may be an issue with one of the condition, because of which the strategy may not take a trade. All right, so in order to debug a strategy, how do we do that is what I'm going to show you in this video. So for example, I will just submit this condition. Now we know that there is a mistake over here, but just in case we were not aware that there is a mistake, and if we deploy this strategy, then what will happen is I will just go to the bottom and I will update and deploy this strategy in paper trading. Now once we go to the deployed page, what we can see is that even if we wait for a minute or so, then this strategy will not take a trade, because as we can see, this condition over here is not going to meet, and that's the reason why it will not take a trade. So in order to debug that, what we will do is we will still go to edit page, and what we will do is we will go to set number 1, this condition, and we will simply change the condition from AND to OR. So even though this is not as per your construction, as per your requirement, what we will do is the reason why we change this to OR is that since one of the conditions out of all these 4 will meet at this point in time, it will take a trade and it will generate a notification log, from where we can understand why the strategy based on the parameters, which was the parameter that was not matching, because of which it did not take the trade when it was in AND condition. Now since it is in OR, one of these conditions will be true and it will take the trade. But from there we can identify why this particular strategy when it was in AND was not taking a trade. So let's do this as consider this as OR. So for now, still we will check that, you know what, in active, this strategy still is in active status since we have not updated any formulas and it is not taking a trade. All right. So now what we will do is we will simply submit this condition with OR condition, and we will submit this and close this and update the strategy. So once I update it, what will happen is, so let me just open this condition once again. So this is our condition and this is the strategy that we have deployed. So now as we can see, this strategy has taken a trade. So as we can see over here, the future of silver micro was bought at 66,425. Now let's go to our edit strategy where we have put this condition. So our condition was that the price should be greater than 70,000, or in this case when it was AND, the price should be greater than 70,000 and less than 70,000 also at the same time. So that's the reason why this trade was not taking a place. But since we changed to OR, what happened was, since the current price of silver micro is 66,429, one of these conditions, that is 70,000, got met. This, even though this first one and the last 2 conditions may not be true, one of the conditions got met. That's the reason why it took a trade in paper trading. So now what we will do is we will check the notification log in order to check why this particular trade was taken on based on what parameter. So once I click on notification log, I can see that at 11:17 this particular trade was taken, right? So from the time we can see from here. So this at 5th April 11:17 p.m. the entry was taken of a buy, a future was bought at 66,425. Since this is the position that we have decided that whenever this condition meets, I want to basically buy one future of silver micro in an MIS. All right. So this is the condition that got triggered, and this is the condition that got met. So over here, since this trade has taken place, in the notification log, we will see that why this condition, which parameters were met. So for example, over here, in the notification log at 11:17, it shows us that the position close of future mic of -2 of 2-minute candle on the previous candle was, the value was 66,420. All right. Now the number that we have said, this condition was greater than 70,000. All right. So this condition was not true. The first condition was not true, but the second condition, that position close of future mic, future silver mic of previous candle should be less than number, say 70,000, right? This is the condition. So this condition was true in this case, where the value of 66,420 was basically true. So because of which it has taken the trade, and it will also show us the value of this parameter. So number time is greater than 905. In this case, the time is 23:17, which is also true, and the time should be less than 23:59. So over here also, the time should be 23:59, but the current time is 23:17. So this condition is also true, which is the reason why now this numbers that we get over here, right? All of these numbers, this may not be of our requirement, so you can ignore that. So what is important for us to check is that based on the parameters that we have put in the strategy, what are the values that are generated in front of that particular formula. So for example, if this is the formula that we have put over here, what is the value that is generated over here? So this value, as per the data in Tradetron and the current market price, it is currently at 66,420, and as per the formula we have set it at 70,000. So since one of this condition of the one of the two conditions is true, that's the reason why it took the trade. All right. So if we again change this to OR, again it will not take the trade, because this condition, both the conditions will not be true at the same time. So the idea is that this is how you can basically debug a strategy, that which of these following conditions might have not met, because of which the strategy was not taking the trade when it was in AND condition. And that's the reason why we choose OR in order to take the trade, forcefully take the trade. So in this case, the condition was not true, but still we are taking the trade to identify it. So in order to get this data from Tradetron, based on which values we can decide what is the parameter for which the trade was not taking trade was not happening. So we can close this now. So this is how we can basically use OR condition.